Hi, Com 632. I'm Wes. I'm your teaching assistant for this class, and I've had a great time reading your assignments and looking at your discussion posts and just learning your perspective on church and media. It's been really eye opening and exciting for me. I wanted to take a few minutes and just talk about our week 3 assignment and some of the things we might learn together as we've kind of continued to ponder some of those thoughts. Your sweet comments were excellent. It was great to see that discussion. And Leonard Sweet is just a brilliant, brilliant scholar who has really pushes the envelope a little bit of how we think about media and the church and how God could use that. So great discussion. I specifically wanted to talk about the part 2 of the week 3 discussion, which is using your compassion ministry and as an evangelism tool. And so here's how this has worked at Lake Point, where I work. We have an opportunity to go on mission trips, either locally, nationally, or internationally. So it's not just overseas, but we have an inner city mission ministry. We have tutoring for English as a second language, students like that, and just trying to help every way we can, locally, nationally, and internationally. What we've seen is our people would talk to the people about their mission involvement to their friends and maybe post on Facebook, hey, getting to go down and serve at Cornerstone Ministry, serve breakfast this morning. Or, hey, getting ready to go on my trip to South Africa and working with the Murchison Community Center and teaching CrossFit. And so those kind of things are happening all throughout our church. And what we're seeing is it's creating curiosity. And their friends will go, why would you do that? And now it opens the door for talking about Jesus and the love of Jesus and how Jesus calls us to make an impact in the world and to spread the good news. And so it's not a hero thing, it's really just a hook, and to be able to say, hey, we're working with our partners. They've asked for help from us as a church, and so we're going to serve whatever they need. And so it's not, the heart of it is not really I'm going to save these poor people. It's the heart of it is I'm going to put a towel over my arm and do whatever that church needs me to do. If that means hauling rice, then I'll haul rice. If that means teaching life skills, then I'll teach life skills. If that means rocking babies, I'll rock babies. Whatever you need, we'll do. And so it really helps as a Christian, it helps you to be less egocentric and really begin to see the world the way Jesus sees the world. But the amazing thing that's happened is it just opens the door for unbelievable conversations with lost folks. One of you guys mentioned that there's this concept of a digital missionary. And I've started to see, even as I've posted things about going to Ghana or South Africa or Mexico or Guatemala, some of the places I've been in the last couple of years, I've posted on Facebook, and friends that are completely lost, friends who are actually adamantly opposed to the church, they hit like, and they're like, that's so cool. I'm so proud of you and serving the needs of the poor. And it's like, I haven't talked to you in years, and now all of a sudden you see this and it clicked. Oh, they're watching, and I have become a digital missionary in many ways. So very cool concept some of you guys have pulled out. So that's the big idea. Now, one of the things that you guys have pointed out is you have discovered the tension we face as a large church. And that tension is we cannot tell every story there is to tell in our 52 weeks out of the year. So we have 52 weekends, that's what we have, and we have to tell the stories that are within our church. Well, we have, call it 80 mission trips that go out in the course of the year. We can't tell those stories. We can't tell all of those stories. There's no way you could tell all those stories. You'd never have a worship service and you'd never have a preaching time because all you do is be telling mission stories. So we have to balance this load and make sure that it's not so missions focused that it's not word focused and scripture focused and giving people an opportunity to connect to God through music. So we have to, this whole service we have, about an hour, and we have to very carefully balance what goes into those services. So what we do, we've approached it in this way. It's one way, it's not in the Bible from a standpoint of this is how it has to work. But what we've done is we will emphasize missions in a weekend or a week. We'll have a week in October that's a missions week. We do a huddle with all of our leaders where we really emphasize all of our national church partners and local church partners. We actually bring them on Wednesday night into the building and let our small group leaders and our small groups that interface with them connect with them face to face, find out what's next, what's going on. And then if there's a small group that doesn't have a missions emphasis locally or nationally, they would connect with them there. Then on the weekend, we do an international emphasis. We do a quick brush overview of our entire mission strategy, and then we'll typically dig deep on one or two international partnerships. So that's what you saw in the Ghana perspective video. That was a 3-minute element of a 38-minute talk. And in that video, you're seeing a little bit of the idea. And it's not the whole idea, it's not everything, it's not the be all and end all of it, but it is a sliver of the big picture. So in that service, we actually had 3 of our partnership leaders from Ghana come to the US with their wives, and we spent the week investing in them, loving on them, letting life group leaders connect with them and dream and plan for the next couple of years of what they're going to do and how they could help the most and how they could be the most effective. And so that was a single sliver of the larger picture that you saw. However, your guys, you have some great concerns, and that is people don't get to see that. They only see the little video, and so they don't get to see the big picture. And so that's a tension we have because we can't control what people see and how much of it they're going to watch. So we could post the 38-minute message, which we did, but they won't see everything. And so that's this tension we have. One of the other things that I think I learned was that our audience isn't just lost people and it's not just other Christians. But Clee pointed out that the video reminded her that missions can be simple. And it occurred to me that we have an audience of other churches as well. The Bible talks about us encouraging one another to spur one another on to good works. And that really is one of our responsibilities as Christians and as a church is to spur other believers on to good works. And the ability for another church to see this video and go, we could do that. There's no reason we couldn't pack shoe boxes and go across the border to Mexico and partner with a local church that will love on those folks and connect with those folks 52 weeks out of the year. And then we can come in and make them look like the hero and show them the love of Jesus that way. So there's just some cool moments that happen there. So thanks for some of those learnings. I really appreciate it. But I felt like it was important for you to see some of the tension we have because we can't tell everybody's story in the course of the year. That's one of, I think, the disadvantages of a large church is because there's so many competing messages that are all good. And it's not this great message is being not told because of this really bad message. It's a good message and 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 a good message. They're all good messages and they all need to be told. But to be able to do that in the context of your worship services is very, very hard. I was challenged. I'm already talking to our video team about it, that we need to put more scripture in. I think, George, you bring up a great point that this needs to have more scripture. And so we're going to start trying to use scripture more. I think another point that was made is how do I connect with this church and get involved? There was no way to follow up. So we're trying to figure out, is there a way to add some stingers and more info at the end of the video of how to connect and an action step? Again, our process has always been, it's been in the context of the larger service, and this is an element of that. But as our media strategy and our social strategy has evolved, we're starting to see these have to be self-contained units that can be shareable, and there's an action step even as that's been shared. So thank you for helping us learn, and hopefully we'll be better every time. And then hopefully this has opened your brain to some new thoughts and new thinking. And maybe some of you, I'll just give you the little pastoral challenge here, maybe some of you need to get involved in your church. and you need to start saying, I've got some talent, I've got some passion towards this. Let me go and make a video of this. Let me make sure this story is told properly in a way that will connect with people. So I love seeing that passion. I love seeing the fact that you care about what the message of the church is. And so I'm really, really grateful for that. So it's been a blast. And I look forward to a few more weeks with you guys. And obviously, if you have any questions, if there's any way I can help you, if you want to bounce ideas around, shoot me an email. Glad to do it. Hope you have an awesome day.